Right. Oop, okay. Or we could start now. That's good too. No, three. And we have a quorum, so I'll go ahead and read our notice. All right. Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Board of Education of the Town of Westfield in the County of Union, New Jersey at 7 p.m. on the evening of Thursday, February 4th, 2021. The board meeting will be held via an online platform which can be accessed at the board tab on the district's website. The meeting can also be accessed by phone at 1-415-655-0001, access code 120-022-5449. The purpose of the meeting is to appoint a consulting firm to conduct, to conduct the search for a new superintendent. The board will immediately go into an executive session. At the conclusion of the executive session, the board expects to go back into public session and approve a consulting firm. This is to advise the general public and to instruct that it be recorded in the minutes that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act, the Westfield School Board on Monday, February 1st, 2021, caused to be posted at the office of the Board of Education located at 302 Elm Street, Westfield, New Jersey, and delivered to the Westfield Leader, the Star Ledger, the Westfield Library, Town Clerk of Westfield, into Westfield, and Patch.com, a meeting notice setting forth the time, date, and location of this meeting. Members of the public will be allowed to make public comments at the end of the meeting. At the appropriate time on the agenda, the Q&A window will be opened for public access. If you wish to address the board, please type in your name and address. Individuals who are calling into the meeting and wish to speak can touch *3 to access the raise your hand function, which will notify a staff member that you want to speak. When your name is called, a staff member will unmute your microphone. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Please note that if any member of the public becomes disruptive during the remote meeting, the board president may mute the speaker's microphone. Continued disruptions may result in removal from the virtual meeting. Dana, can we have a roll call, please?
Sahar Aziz, Michael Beelan, Brendan Galligan.
Here.
Garrison. Rob is here, but he's frozen.
Spinning, yes.
Leila Morelli. Thanks, Rob. Leila Morelli.
Here, sorry, here.
Tara Porto.
Here.
Sonal Patel.
Here.
Amy Root.
Here. Thank you. Brendan, could you lead us in a flag salute, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of
America
and to the
and to the republic
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
and
justice for all.
justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, first order of business is I would like the board to approve the following resolution. Resolved that the Board of Education move into private session for the purpose of discussing matters rendered confidential by state and federal law, including superintendent search and personnel matters. And be it further resolved that any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential and the results of the discussion will be made public as soon as practicable. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Great. Thanks, Brendan. Just a voice vote, Dana? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
All in
just
favor,
all in
say
favor.
aye, please.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay, great. Okay, we have a quorum. We will return to this WebEx link after we're done with the executive session. So now, board members, if you could please join me in the other link,
Mhm.
and we'll get on with the meeting. Thank you. Do we have everybody back?
Thank
everybody back. Yes, okay. All right then. Sorry, switching my thing. Okay, so looks like we've got everybody reconnected. We will go back into public session now. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Finance, I believe we have a motion, Brendan?
Yes. I move that the board award a contract to the New Jersey School Boards Association for superintendent search consultant services in the amount not to exceed $15,000.
Second.
Thank you, Tara.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions, discussion from the board? All right. Dana?
Sahar Aziz,
Yes.
Beelan,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Rob Garrison,
Yes.
Layla Morelli,
Yes.
Tara Porto,
Yes.
Sona Patel,
Yes.
Amy Root.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for all the work we did in reviewing the 3 proposals we got, and very happy to be working with Gwen Thornton again going forward.
We look forward to the next phases of the search, which will entail a number of meetings with the school board members, of course, but also reaching out to the community to set up meetings and perhaps surveys, to be determined, but to get input from the community about what characteristics and values are important to them, and as we look for our next superintendent. So there will definitely be more news to come on that front through our community. So watch for that.
Much like we did with our last strategic plan, and with our annual code of conduct review, we'll have School Boards Association will be reaching out to representatives of the various PTOs, the PTC, various community groups that aren't affiliated with the schools. I believe she'll reach out to the mayor or our town council liaison, as well as board members, the Westfield Education Association and affiliated unions, and pretty much any stakeholder group in town. We'll get some kind of input into what they want to see in our next superintendent.
Yeah. Great. Okay. If there are no other comments from board members at this time, I would like to recognize the public for comments. I would like to reiterate that we'd like your comments to be kept to 3 minutes in length, please. And please understand that the board cannot engage in active dialogue with you. We are here to listen to your comments, and we will make sure that any appropriate staff members who need to hear the message will definitely hear the message. If I could just repeat that if you are, in order to get your mic unmuted to make your comments, if you could type in your name and address, but then in the comment section on Q&A, and then repeat your name and address when you're called on. If you're a call-in audio participant and you would like to comment, there's the *3 function. And then again, once you're connected, if you could just repeat your name and address, we'd really appreciate it. It'll be a matter of public record, so we don't just appreciate it, we require it. Okay. All right. So Brian, if you, sorry, yes?
No,
Rob?
God, sorry, you could direct Brian first, and I wanted to make a comment.
Okay. It's like the Q&A section is open for anyone who wants to type in their name and address to make a comment. While we wait for that, please, Rob, go ahead.
I just wanted to, I know we mentioned this briefly the last meeting, but I did want to, again, mention condolences to Michael for the passing of his father, John. I know tomorrow's the funeral, so Mike, just let you know that, your thoughts, you're with us in our thoughts and prayers. And listen, even though I'm a big Dickie D's fan, I know your dad was a Ruts Hut guy. We'll let that go.
Thank you. And I just want to, to the many people in the community, it's been a very tough week, and I really appreciate all the comments and messages and emails. Thank you.
We appreciate your being with us tonight, Mike. I know it's been a hard week. Hopefully we distracted you for a little while.
It does.
Oh, yes, keeps you busy, for sure. Brian, are you seeing any? I'm not seeing anyone type anything in. I don't know if anybody's called in, has a comment.
We have one now. I see one.
We have Emily
Okay.
Emily Barker.
Okay, good.
Emily, just a moment and I'll unmute you. Hang on. Okay, Emily, you're unmuted. Go right ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my question really was to ask if you could give us the status on going back to school and what the plan is for students to return back. I know that you said you can't really engage, but that's really at the top of my mind.
Yes, we've received many emails today. And I know that when it's appropriate, the superintendent will be reached to share what she can share at that point. We're not trying to hide anything from you. We understand people want more information, but at this point, I don't have anything that I can read out or share at this point. So just please know that we hear your comments and concerns, and we'll make sure that Dr. Rowland hears them as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was Emily Barker from 434 Longfellow Avenue. Sorry. Any other comments?
We have
Yep.
Lena Revok.
Liana?
Liana.
Liana, if you could just repeat your name so we can pronounce it correctly and your address, please.
It's Liana Reebok, 414 Lennox. So I know you guys can't respond, but I guess I feel like a lot of us are trying to understand who ultimately makes the decision, because it seems like it's been bounced back and forth. So maybe in the next meeting that you guys have with the public, or maybe even before that, you'll be able to come back to us, with an answer, because we do know that surrounding towns have, phase 2, and they're moving on with getting the kids back at least, 5 days in the elementary school. So again, I know you can't respond, but it's just frustrating because I feel like we're getting bounced around and no one really is taking the ball and running with it. At least that's how it appears to parents.
Okay. We'll make sure it is addressed certainly at our next public meeting, if not before then. Okay. Okay. One more, Brian.
Kara Goldman.
Okay, Kara, you're unmuted.
Hi, Kara Goldman from 1024 Harding Street.
Okay.
I also want to echo all the concerns that parents have. It can't be said enough, and I'm speaking to the parents on the line. They need to be saying it again, even though the questions have been raised by 2 previous callers. Please speak up. You guys need to hear us. We need to hear you, and we're not. And so we are, as parents, are looking for a plan. We're looking for transparency, and we're looking for benchmarks that we can all understand. Where the, back to school plan is, how we're going to achieve that, and what the phases are, and what the benchmarks that are needed in the community in order to start this process. So I think, I'm saying this, I know it was said previously. Again, I just want to say it to get it in the minutes that it should be said. We are looking for, we don't necessarily need to know that the kids are going back to school tomorrow. That's not what we're looking for. We are looking for some phase and benchmarks that need to be achieved in the community by the state, who's making these decisions, and we're looking for transparency on that topic so that we, as parents, can make the best decisions for our children, which might be moving out of district or, going elsewhere. We need that information to make decisions, and we're just looking for some transparency, and we will work with you guys. But I just wanted to get that out there, and everybody else should also speak up to get it in the minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And thank you. We have Kelly Hantman from Radley Road.
Okay, Kelly, go ahead. You're unmuted.
We can't hear you.
Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? My question is a little, I appreciate everything all of the other townsfolk have shared, and I echo their sentiment. But my question is about the superintendent. So I know that you sort of met in a private meeting prior to this. What can you share up to this point in terms of, you mentioned you hired a search firm, not exceeding $15,000. Who is this search firm? How did you find them? Are you looking on a national level? What are your hopes? What can you share in terms of the search? I know it's quite early, but just to give us any information.
Amy, do you want me to touch in on that?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we hired the New Jersey School Boards Association, which is an association of all the school boards in New Jersey. They have a consultant firm, or an in-house consultant firm that will do a national search for us. posting to national job boards, specifically reaching out to their sister associations in New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. And so our reach will be national, but New Jersey does have some pretty strict licensing rules for superintendents. So most likely any candidate that would have a New Jersey certification is most likely in the Northeast region.
But there may be some that have left New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is important to us that the reach for the search be as wide as possible, because we do want to attract the best candidates. So we don't want to narrowly focus the search. We want the search to be open and able to capture the best that is out there. So the search firm will work with the board on refining some of our priorities. And then, as we said, there will also be outreach to the community in different forms, what's important to community members. And so that kind of thing will be advertised probably through press releases going forward. But we definitely want to make sure that as many people who want to participate do participate. So we will definitely trying to be making that as public as possible in as many channels as we can as well. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay. Any other questions? Sorry, any other comments?
I don't see anybody else in the Q&A.
Okay. And I will just say that this is a different kind of a format for a meeting, I know, for we board members as well as members of the public. So we appreciate your patience with us as we kind of navigate a different sort of a situation here. But again, we value the comments of the public. We're glad that you spoke up. And we definitely have been keeping track. There've been a lot of emails that have come out on areas of concern to the community. So we know. And we hear you. Okay. And maybe just in summary, just to clarify, the question was made earlier of who's in charge of making the final decision about how things open. We support Dr. Dolan, but it is Dr. Dolan, the superintendent, who makes the determination of what is best instructional delivery methodology for the district. So that's why we don't take a vote in our board meetings about whether to open under one type of instruction or another. But we certainly provide input to her of what we're hearing from people who reach out to us, as well as our own perspectives as community members and parents. So I hope that is somewhat helpful. And again, as I said, we look to get more information out to help answer some of your questions going forward.
Amy, if I just may add, because we've actually talked about this probably in about 10 or so meetings since, maybe even more since COVID started. It is Dr. Dolan's decision, but she does consult with the appropriate officials locally and statewide that assist her and really direct her and work with her on that decision process.
Dr. Dolan is in almost constant contact with the Westfield Board of Health, the county superintendent, the county executive superintendent, various superintendents from around the county, as well as the State Department of Education and the Department of Health. And the State Department of Health guidelines have not changed, which is why we haven't changed much of what we're doing yet. Fingers crossed.
Indeed. Okay, seeing no further comment from the public, right, Brian? We're not missing anything? Okay. All right, then I would move to adjourn the meeting. Looks like Rob is seconding. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No. All right, then we are adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.